across the fruity plain from coast to coast, but in the South, where they say the game just means more, there's only one game considered the Deep South's oldest rivalry. From black jersey debuts to prayers at Jordan Hare, this matchup has had it all. Welcome between the hedges to Athens, Georgia and Sanford Stadium, home of the Georgia Bulldogs. As we'll see a squad from the SEC, the Auburn Tigers, taking on the #1 team in the land, the Georgia Bulldogs. For EA Sports College Football, I'm Reese Davis, here with David Pollack and Jesse Palmer. Guys, let's get this thing rolling. Georgia about to kick it off to get us underway. And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. This is what we expected. This crowd ready to make its presence known. Running back searching for a hole. Runs ahead and powers his way for 4 yards out to the 30. Guys, let's chat a little big picture Auburn. Great pickup on the defensive front. 3-star defensive lineman gives a verbal commitment last week, and you really need to bring good talent into the program. Maybe diamonds in the rough. At this level, that's how they thrive.
Oh, there's no doubt. And just some of these guys, they're not as refined, but they've got the tools, right? And so I think he's got the tools, and this is a guy that you can build around in that defensive line. You need all the big bodies you can get.
The Dogs are off the leash and coming after him on 3rd down. They'll try to pick it up on the ground. At the 45 on his way. There he goes. Touchdown, Tigers. He found some open space and turned on the Jets.
And as a coach, you're just hoping your offense can take the field on the first series of the game and create a little bit of momentum, get into a rhythm. How about that running play? Hitting a home run early in this game. You know that's got the sidelines all juiced up.
They're coming out to tee it up for the kickoff, and that last score was a real buzzkill for this crowd. So the kick goes out of bounds, and the ball will be placed at the 40 to start this drive. Quarterback stands alone, all wide receivers. Wants to throw, it's Gore. Pass rush, coming after the quarterback, and they get him at the 32. Georgia going up tempo.
Man, that is a big negative play for this defense, putting them in reverse, getting the quarterback on the ground, and they better get ready again. Look at this offense. They're right back on the ball, ready to snap it again.
Second down, they'll go to the air. Keeps looking downfield. Spits it out to the back. And that's going to fall to the ground incomplete. That was a physical matchup there. 3rd down coming.
Well, the defense watched film last week. They saw this running back catch multiple passes, and that hasn't been the case today. They are clamping down on him, always aware of him, especially in the passing game. And so far, they've taken him away.
Fires to the wideout. Another incompletion on 3rd down.
3rd and long situations are really hard to convert. The defense knows it's going to be passed. The pass rushers are getting upfield. You're under pressure. You don't have timing. And as a result now, 4th down.
And he's going to get it up to about the 29-yard line before he's brought down. And Auburn is ready to go back to work on offense. Already a solid start to this one. Now back to work with this 7-0 lead. Defense there to stop him after a 2-yard gain to the 31. Guys, only Minnesota and Wisconsin have played more often than Auburn and Georgia. This rivalry is rich in tradition.
And you're right, Reese. This goes back to 1892. A a long time. This game has been heated. You know a bunch of the names, a bunch of the storylines. And speaking of storylines, how about the mascot for Georgia? Literally trying to bite an Auburn wide receiver. That's how real this rivalry is.
After the 3-yard pickup, they come to the line 2nd and 7. He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage.
You know when you're playing against a defense of this caliber, you're going to have some sort of balance, right? You can't just drop back and throw it every single play. Nothing going on that last run. They're going to have to find another way to get it going, handing the ball off.
On 3rd and long, he's going to have to throw for it. He gets those chains moving, gets it out to the 42-yard line.
When you're a playmaker like this guy is, your coaches are going to dial up plays intended for you, especially on 3rd down. That's what you saw in that last play. There was no question where the quarterback was going with that football. All week long, they decided on the biggest downs of this game, we're going to target our best player, and we're going to make sure that he gets looks. It doesn't matter what the coverage is, and you saw it right there on that play.
Solid pickup of 4 on 1st down. It's 2nd and 6. Handoff to the lone back. Got enough for the 1st. He's brought down, but there's a flag on the play. Let's see if it stands. They'll decline the penalty here, and the result of the play stands. Here comes Auburn to the line on 1st and 10. They'll try the run. And a pickup of 8 opens a world of opportunities on 2nd and 2.
Well, it's plays like that that'll help this offense stay in rhythm all game long. If you can have that kind of success on 1st down running the football, it just opens up your entire playbook moving forward.
And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that.
You just need more from your offensive line. 2nd and short like that, you'd love to be able to fire off the ball and pick that up running it, but the defense was able to get penetration. They were able to get a stop, and now you set up 3rd down, and this offensive line is going to have to play a lot better here.
Wants to throw on 3rd. Strong pass rush, gets to the quarterback, and they get him at the 46.
And the defense gets a sack, and that's going to be the big determining factor in this football game. A week ago, he only got sacked 1 time. They've already got him on the ground. If they want to win this football game, they got to keep getting after the quarterback.
He'll try to throw and pick up the 1st down. Incomplete, and that'll be a turnover on downs.
And aggressive play calls. Everybody wants you to be aggressive. They're aggressive. They take their shot. Now they got to live with a little bit of the consequences. They turn the football over on downs. Now their defense has to go out on the field and make some stops.
Found enough room to get it into enemy territory. They're down at the 43-yard line.
Well, it's an electrifying run. And you think about the tradition at the running back position for the Bulldogs. Herschel Walker into his Heisman Trophy. No Sean Marino. And how about this? Todd Gurley, Nick Chubb, and Sony Michel all there.
Breaks into the open.
Winning 1st downs is a priority for a defense, and you can't get bludgeoned. You can't get physically beat at the point of attack. You know the percentages. It's usually pretty good on 1st down that they're going to run the football. So them getting that big chunk, getting in 2nd and short, not a good job by this defense.
The Bulldogs can play this 2nd down a lot of ways with just a few yards to go. The give to the back. He'll be forced out of bounds at the 28.
Well, obviously the offense went 3 and out on their last drive. They're having a little bit more success here. That was a nice run, and I think that's the key, guys. If they're able to run the football, they're going to be able to stay on the field. And I think that's something you want to think more about if you're the play caller on offense.
Now on 1st down from the 28. To the air, it's Gore. Dangerous screen into traffic. And that one looked great on the grease board, but when they blow it up like that, the defense is going to win every time. He wants to change this route. Wide receiver going in motion. To the air on second down. Blasted as he lets it go. And he can't connect on the throw. It's incomplete.
All right, well, if you're the quarterback, you know at this point, this is one of those days that I'm going to have to just strap it up. I'll probably be in an ice bath when the game is over because I'm getting hit a lot. We're only in the first quarter. My accuracy and my timing is going to have to be at a premium.
And they fail to hook up on third down.
And the offense got themselves in a tough situation. Third and long, so hard to execute, especially when the field starts to shrink. But the good news is they got a field goal in their back pocket.
It's fourth down and 14, but they're going to go for it. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. Looking to the big tight end. Intercepted, and we're back in their own end, and they stop the drive.
And that's such a great job of seeing the play, seeing it unfold, breaking on the football, making the interception, and you will absolutely never forget getting that first career INT, that big play, that big moment.
Wants to throw on first down. Got it in the middle. It's Akbar. Caught, and he's close to a first down on the nice pickup there.
You run the slant route day one, and this is something that the quarterback and the wide receiver has done 100 million times out there on the field in the offseason. I see man-to-man coverage. I know I can run.
Oh, he's got some space. That's the kind of play that can really get you going as they get it out to the 36.
This guy's a game changer at the running back position, man. And don't you just feel like you have to be if you're going to be toting the rock at Auburn? Bo Jackson obviously won a Heisman Trophy. Cadillac Williams, Ronnie Brown on the same team at the same time. And then Tank Bigsby here in recent years, too. Physical runners, but they also had speed. They were the total package, and I think this guy fits right into that category.
You want to make play calling easy for an offensive coordinator? Run the ball like that every play. I mean, when you can run that on first down and set up a short yardage on second down, it makes play calling easy. Every single call on that sheet is available here on second down.
Well, the offense is in a really nice rhythm right now. It seems like no matter what they're dialing up, they're getting positive yards, and it just feels so good as a play caller when you know on first down you can get yards like that turning around and handling it.
And on the other side, you're scratching your head going, what the heck can I do here? You got to find something. The defense has got to find a way to create some momentum. Whatever they're doing right now, it's not working. So you got to keep going through that play sheet and maybe find something a little bit different and give this offense something to think about.
Looking to fire. Catch in the middle. It's Akbar. They make the stop, and he'll have enough yardage for a first down.
Well, this defense now is just getting gashed. And if you're the defensive coordinator, you might now want to think about being aggressive, changing up your play calls, and maybe breaking your own tendencies because you have got to stop this offense just marching down the field.
Yeah, and this man, you got to do a better job blocking. And I tell you what, that's a kind of been a theme throughout the season. They haven't been high-powered. They haven't really figured out who they are yet. And they still got time. The season's not over yet, but this offense still in identity mode.
Just gets rid of it to the running back underneath. And he was able to run through a tackle, and they finally get him, but not until he picks up the first down. Auburn ready to go back to work after getting another first down. Looking to throw on first down. They'll run the screen. Didn't have much room to run and not a whole lot of help. Short gain there, and still plenty of ground to cover for the first down.
Yeah, and you're going to see this offense find different ways to get this running back involved. It's not just going to be on handoffs, and they're certainly going to line him up in different places and even throw him the football. But the screen game's a big part of it, too. We're trying to get him going.
Under pressure, and down he goes at the 33. That's the end of the quarter, and Auburn has the lead. And we've come to the end of the first as we take a moment to check out the stats so far. Lots of time left and ready to go back at it here in the second quarter. So they had a chance to talk over this third down play to open the period. He's looking downfield to throw. And he fires over the middle. It's incomplete.
Really nice third down sub defense there that time. It's third and long. They're expecting pass, and they're mixing up their looks. They're trying to change the picture pre-snap to post-snap to confuse the quarterback, now forcing the incompletion, setting up fourth.
On fourth down, they'll throw for it. A strike downfield. They bring him down, but he's got a first and goal from the 10. They were easily within field goal range there, but they don't feel like you can win this game 3 points at a time.
Nah, pass. I mean, you got to be aggressive. You got to get touchdowns, man. You've seen the emphasis. Defenses are willing to give up yards now to make you kick field goals. I like this offense being aggressive. Forget the threes. We need sixes.
The offense trying to throw it there quickly down close to the goal line. Nice job by the defense tackling the catch.
And after the really good gain on first down, they'll try to finish it off on second and goal. And he'll be stopped for no gain, still sitting at the 3-yard line.
And with the stuff there, Jesse, on second down, this little third to mid-range, you got 2 downs. What are you thinking here?
Maybe getting your quarterback out on the perimeter and giving him a run-pass option. See if you can get the defense in a bind.
Trying to barrel in. And they've got him down after the short completion, but they inch closer and closer to pay dirt. They'd hope to be able to pick up enough after the catch, but a good stop leaves them with a 4th and short.
Really good job by the defense being physical, understanding the situation in the game. The ball's going to come out quick. You know that. Go make the tackle, force the 4th down.
So the offense will try to punch it in here on 4th and goal from the 1. Defense going all in to stop the run. He'll sneak it and try to surge forward. He didn't get there. 4th and goal from the 1, and they are stuffed.
Man, you feel pretty good about a quarterback sneak most of the time. Such a short yardage play. I just got to find a little crease and get through it. But this defense was more than ready for it. Built that wall up front. Nowhere to go. No push. Big stop by the D.
And it's incomplete. If you're going to take a hit like that, you might as well hang on to the ball.
Well, the quarterback knew he wanted to go to his tight end on that play. He's a big physical target, but it was the hit on the play that forced the incompletion.
They're dealing with a 2nd and long. Looking to pass. It's Gore. Throws to the tight end. Got his man on the right. How about this senior picking up some yardage and making a nice play on that one?
That's an absolute strike right there. Giving me some Stetson Bennett vibes, some Aaron Murray vibes, even Matthew Stafford with the arm talent on that throw. I'll tell you, they can attack any spot of the field in the passing game because of this guy's talent.
Leaves it with the running back. And this one will be stopped for no gain. Georgia comes quickly to the line. Quarterback making adjustments. They'll go to work in the air on 2nd down. Throws for the tight end. And he drops it just a little too slippery in the hands.
Well, man, I mean, you don't get more wide open than that, right? Big fella running down the field, nobody near him. Quarterback puts it on him. just got to make the catch.
Now facing a 3rd and long. From the gun, wants to pass. Quarterback doing what he does best. He can move. Rolling, throwing, looking right. Oh, he dropped it. That deep ball was right on the money. You just have to make that catch.
This is a point where you just got to be able to focus. And the critical down and distances in this game, like that 3rd down right there, when it's a good throw, you got to make the catch. You got to be able to make that play.
So the offense is going to go for it on 4th down. He'll try to throw and pick up the 1st down. Going back to the well, another deep ball. Fires into traffic, intercepted.
This is obviously not a great start for this quarterback here. 2 interceptions already in this game. He's got to do a much better job with his decision-making.
Now here comes that Auburn offense onto the field again. These last couple of drives, Jesse, have been about the defense making clutch stand.
I think for this offense, they can stay aggressive knowing that their defense is going to bail them out time and time again.
Yeah, and especially when you go for those 4th down situations, you do that a lot of times because you know your defense can make stands, make stops. They did on that last possession.
Line getting set on 2nd down. Back to pass. Finds his man. It's Akbar. Stopped at the 46-yard line, but give him 10 yards and the 1st down. Good job by the receiver there, not to run into coverage, but to find a spot that the quarterback can throw him the ball.
Yeah, on those types of routes, Reese.
Lets it fly. He caught it, and he will score. Touchdown, Auburn.
Yeah, and that's simple, but it's not easy. It's a go route. Like that receiver streaking straight down the outside of the field, and my job as a quarterback is to put that ball up in the air, keep it away from the safety. He does just that. Receiver comes down with the catch. Nice pitch, nice catch, touchdown.
And no chance at a return here. They'll start this drive at their own 25. And Georgia ready to go back to work on offense. Now we'll get a chance to see if they can answer that last score, trailing by 14, Jesse.
Yeah, and at this point of the game, I feel like offensively, you should go back to what's been working for you in this game. Don't be afraid to dial up plays that you've already had success with, running it and throwing it. It's okay to repeat plays down 14 at this point.
And I would also say, Palmer, kind of understanding that my defense is not playing great. So I know offensively I got to put some good possessions together here, make something happen on this side of the football.
Gets it to the 42-yard line, and that's a 1st down. And those hairy dogs taking a bite out of another 1st down.
You don't usually find Georgia teams that complicate things. They know who they are, and it starts with running the football, establishing the line of scrimmage. That's what the dogs do.
This offense will snap it from the 42 on 1st and 10. The sweet feet keeping the play alive. And it'll be incomplete. He got on the move trying to make something happen, but just couldn't find a man.
And those are tough passes. When you start throwing those balls towards the sidelines, it's a longer throw for the quarterback to make. And I think that's when you see the majority of the misses for guys, the majority of the overthrows and a little bit of inaccuracy start to show itself.
How about that play to get a hand in there and force the incompletion?
Listen, sometimes these quarterbacks, they get locked in on who they want to throw to. I didn't think he was open there. Nice job by the defender, breaking on the football, batting the ball down, making sure that receiver can't make a play.
Might be calling a hot route. Dropping back, it's Gore. Looking to buy time. Out of the crowd, and now he's got room. He's brought down, but there's a flag on the field. Let's see what the call is. A costly penalty wipes out that 3rd down conversion, and now they'll back up and try it again. Lining up to convert 3rd down. Looking downfield, and he needs a bunch. Unleashes one. On target over the middle. And that's not going to be a 1st down. He stopped just millimeters away from moving the chains. Boy, if they don't convert this fourth down, there will be questions to be answered. He'll keep it on the sneak. Dragged down, but they'll move the sticks for a first down. The Dogs want to crank the tempo.
I think that's a big advantage of having a tiny quarterback, right? Is he can find little creases to wedge his body into to pick up short yardage plays like that on the QB sneak on fourth down.
Got 8 on first down, now looking at a 2nd and 2. The give to the tailback. He gets it past the sticks, and Georgia has a first down.
Well, it's an offense that prides themselves on being physical. No mystery there. You need 1 yard, turn around, hand it off, let him go to work.
On 1st and 10 from the 38. They'll give it to the back. Found a little running room, and they get him stopped after a pickup of 6 to the 32.
You love to see this on offense. Early in drives, getting that kind of yardage keeps you ahead of the chains.
And the Bulldogs in a good spot here with 2nd and short. They'll leave it with him. They bring him down, but not before he's able to pick up the first down.
And, you know, big chunks like this don't happen unless you commit to the run game. You got to get those big boys up front into the game, understanding I want to knock people off the football, create some holes like you do here for my running back, make the game easy.
Well, that was less than choreographed. Everybody going on their own snap count there. The officials offer the deal, and the coach accepts it. They will take the penalty. This Georgia offense moving quickly down the field. Trying to get the corner. Turning it on. And the defense drags him down. And the Dogs with a 2nd and short to keep this drive moving. They go to the ground. Got enough space. They'll finally get him stopped at the 1-yard line. What a run there. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. Now on 1st and goal, let's see what Georgia will do. They'll try to get it in with the run. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage. Boy, there wasn't much room to wiggle for that running back there.
None at all. Great job by the defense getting in the backfield quickly, closing up all the holes, nowhere to run.
Offense trying to pay it off on 2nd and goal. Quarterback sneaks it ahead. The sneak scores it.
One thing you know about this team is they've got a lot of fight in them, and that's a great job responding by the offense on that last drive, capping it off with a really good-looking touchdown run. This is now a one-possession game. We've got a lot of football left to play.
And the PAT will draw them 1 point closer. They're set to kick it off, and this crowd now ready to get behind them. And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. They'll put this one in play. First snap of the drive from the 25. Looking to throw on 1st down. He'll take a deep shot here. Makes the grab on the left side. The new popular phrase for a favored team not really coming out of the gates quickly is that they're playing with their food. There are a lot of peas being pushed around the plate right now, guys.
Yeah, Reese, they've been stumbling around. They've been making mistakes and shooting themselves in the foot in this game. But, David, I think you also have to give credit to the underdog in this game because they're just playing with more intensity. They look like they want it.
Oh, dude, when you come out It's being talked about as the underdog. As this game goes on, can they keep that intensity up? Right now, they're doing a heck of a job.
Back to pass on second down. He's got the back in the middle. Really short gain on that one. Defense all over it. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. Ball at the 38. The defense will try to get a stop on third and short. From the gun, wants to pass. Got the back over the middle. Just outside the red zone as they pick up the first down. They'll spot it at the 22.
Love the third down call. Throwing the angle route to your back. Working one-on-one against that defender. Easy pitch and catch for the first.
Quickly complete.
My old coach said you'll never go broke taking a profit. Take what's there, take the positive yards, and never complain.
And the Tigers with myriad options after that big pickup on first down. Second down, they'll go to the air. And the pass is incomplete thanks to a big hit.
Well, they were trying to sneak him out of the backfield that time into the passing game, but that did not fool anybody on defense. What a hit, forcing that incompletion.
Third down, red zone play, crowd alive. From the gun, wants to pass, makes the catch. The tackle is made, but he's got it first and goal from the 6.
It's tough on the defense there. Third down, you're in zone coverage. Everybody's watching the quarterback, and you're trying to make a break on the ball, but he just got it out of his hands too quickly, and the throw was too accurate. Really nothing you can do there, and it's now a fresh set of downs.
He works his way all the way down to the 3, and the defense is reeling.
As a quarterback, you've got to know in this area of the field, it's tough to throw, right? The windows, they open and close so quickly when you get down to the red zone. What helps you is running the football, but that's tough today because you're going up against one of the top 25 defenses stopping the run.
And they've got him down after the short completion, but they inch closer and closer to pay dirt. Here's a timeout on the field. Tight game here late in the first half. From the gun, wants to pass. And down he goes back at the 3.
We talked to the offensive staff coming into this one. They knew going up against the top 25 defense with respect to sacks per game that they had to do a good job protecting the QB, but they have not been able to get that done so far. They've already now allowed 3 sacks in this game.
Thought he had it and couldn't get it through the uprights. He missed it. And the margin is still 7 after the miss, guys.
That's just a chip shot. That's just a field goal they got to make, guys.
Waning seconds of the first half. Let's see just how aggressive they'll be. Coming out on first down with the play fake. He lost it high and deep down the left side. It is incomplete, and now there are 4 seconds remaining.
And it's funny, right before that play, I'm thinking to myself, I wonder if this offense is just going to play conservative here with the field position, the fact they haven't scored a ton of points so far in this game, just run the ball and take it into halftime. No, they're being aggressive, and not just that. They're taking deep shots way down the field, but give the defense credit. They were ready for it, forcing that incompletion.
That's going to wrap up the first half here, and now we join Kevin with the halftime update. Kickoff unit all lined up, and we're ready to put toe to leather. And it'll come out to the 25. No attempt at a return. We're ready to get another look at this Bulldog offense. A big reason they find themselves trailing to start the second half, those 2 turnovers in the first.
Yeah, and I think coaches will tell you the number one thing that you got to make sure you do is take care of the football. You want to create explosives, you want to put up a bunch of yards, but step one, Jesse, taking care of the football.
It just goes to show you how critical those mistakes are. Only 2 plays. That's really what separates this team from potentially having to lead. If they clean up the errors, they've got a chance to win this game.
Starting this drive like that is exactly what they'd hoped for. Now 1st and 10 from the 40. Might as well give it to him again. Picks up the 1st down, still moving.
You're down. Obviously, at the half, you had a conversation. We got to come out and put points on the board. And, Jesse, it looks like they're going to start with the ground game.
And I love this, David, too. Regardless of whether they're losing or they're winning, come out here and try to be the most physical unit here in the second half. Get this run game established.
The give to the back. Just what they were looking for, and he's got him set up in business at the 35 with a 1st down.
How about that for efficiency if you're on this offense right now? 3 plays, 3 1st downs. They get that one running the football, great vision and open field running ability. Everything they're doing right now is working. This play caller is in a rhythm.
And how about the efficiency on that one? It'll bring up 2nd and 4.
It's going to be important this offensive line is able to get a little bit of push. Just got to give this guy an inch, a little crease, and he can make yards for you.
The Bulldogs can really attack on this 2nd and short. One back in the backfield. He gets the carry. He's brought down, but it'll be enough for a 1st down.
Well, I love the job by the offensive line, getting a good push there on 2nd down, and you see guys bleeding into the 2nd level of the defense getting a hat-on-hat to go get that 1st.
Georgia ready to dial it up on another 1st down. To the air, it's Gore. Rush coming in hot, and they got him at the 29. Now facing 2nd and long after the defense came up with that sack.
Well, what a great job by the defense and phenomenal effort chasing down the quarterback, getting that sack for a huge loss, and now they're licking their chops, lining up in tempo. They're ready to do it again.
Georgia going up tempo. Quarterback making checks. Looking to throw. Using the quick game. That'll be enough to give them a 1st and goal from the 10. The Dogs started this drive backed up in their own end, and now they've moved into position to score. A little too anxious along that offensive line. That'll be a false start. So the decision has been made, and the coach will take the penalty. First down here for the offense. Here we go. Leaves it with the back. And he get him down, but he was driving his way and gets it down to the 7-yard line. Operating in the red zone here on 2nd down. He's brought down at the 6th, but the defense feeling the heat to make a stop here. Tight quarters deep in the red zone, but they can pick up a 1st down without scoring. 3rd down. They'll go to the ground. Still on his feet. Touchdown, Georgia! He shed tackles right and left and housed it.
That's why, as a defense, you have to game tackle this guy. You've got to bring multiple bodies to the party because he's just way too strong of a runner. It's too hard to tackle this guy one-on-one.
And how about the running back, man? That's a grown man. Like, you could tell, once he gets his feet moving, he is hard to bring down, breaking tackles, making plays. This is a guy that doesn't need a great offensive line because he continues to make plays even when they're not there to be made.
And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. So here comes the Auburn offense. That touchdown lead they had has disappeared, and now we have a whole new ball game as they start the drive. He hurls one deep down the left side. Makes a grab for a big play. Speeding down the left side. Touchdown!
the exact opposite of what this defense drew up in the locker room. You want to stop giving up explosive plays. You want to play deep, make the offense earn it, but play one. They put the ball in the air, down the field. DB can't make a play. Not only that, the run after the catch, a disastrous start for this defense.
And no chance at a return here. They'll start this drive at their own 25. Guys, this offense coming back out onto the field. Here's the handoff. At the 35, he's loose. Oh, out of space. At the 20. And he'll race it to the house. Touchdown, Bulldogs.
David, this guy's showing us everything he's got in his toolbox. Between the tackles, running outside, the elusiveness, the vision, the speed, the patience. And with that home run, now has over 200 yards rushing in this game.
And there's nothing more frustrating than a guy that just keeps coming and keeps coming. They keep feeding him, and he keeps breaking tackles. He keeps making big plays. This defense has had absolutely no answer for that stud.
And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. And Auburn is ready to go back to work on offense. Boy, that last touchdown, the one-play quick strike scored. Jesse, this offense hoping to keep that kind of... There he goes! That's the kind of play that can really get you going as they have a first down at the 43. That big pickup on what they call the drag route, but if you hit it on time, you can hit the turbo boosters.
And you've got to be accurate on the throw, too, Reese. Nice job by the QB there, putting it out in front of his receiver to make an easy catch and then advance it.
The give. Past the sticks, and he may get more. Stopped at the 46-yard line, but give him 10 yards and the first down. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. The offense sets up shop at the 46 on first down. To the ground with the back. Runs through the tackle.
It's got to feel good as an offense knowing that early in the drive you can turn around, hand it off, get a push up front, and go get positive yardage.
The Tigers can play this second down a lot of ways with just a few yards to go. Give to the running back. They knock him down, but he's got enough to get it across the line and pick up the first down.
And this is a guy that can find you the hidden yardage. That play, he just pushes the pile to get that first down.
The Tigers will have it first and 10. Power football with the run. And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play.
I love when you start bringing linebackers up near the line of scrimmage and you start sending them, because those guys have serious speed. They can come catch anybody up and down the line of scrimmage. The linebacker, you could tell, he had a good clue what was going on. He knew it was a run play, fired, pulled the trigger, came downhill, and attacked the running back.
Well, this defense has tried to find ways to disguise their coverage and mix it up to try to confuse the QB. It's not working there. With that last completion, he's now got over 300 yards passing.
They're down to the 20, first and 10. They're looking to pass from the red zone. Gets it out fast. He hauled that one in and got it down to the 15-yard line.
That's a good job by the drag route there, understanding its zone coverage. So instead of continuing to run across the field, he settles down into an open spot, making it easy for his quarterback.
He's got it on the run. They get it down to the 7 on that pass play in prime position for a score.
I like the running back there on the route and the patience he showed, really setting it up. He got to the defender, he was able to put his foot in the ground, get some separation, catch it, and turn upfield for a first.
Auburn comes to the line with a first and goal. They'll try to get it in with the run. He has kept those big, powerful thighs churning, but he'll be knocked down at the 1. Looking for just one more yard. It's a sneak.
It's just so nice to have a signal caller who can make plays through the air and make plays with his feet like this. Runs in for the touchdown. The defense knows I have to account for him every play. That's my quarterback.
They'll try to add another to their lead. And the extra point makes it a 28-21 score. And let's check in with Kevin Connors in the studio. Kevin?
Guys, every game in the Big Ten so very critical. How about this one today? Maryland is currently working from behind. But how many times have we said that and then witnessed something special happen? This time of year, you never know. It's a touchdown game. They're trailing by 7 to Indiana. Your boy KC has you covered here in studio, guys, in case anything changes in this Big Ten battle.
Thanks for the update on that one, Kevin. Let us know when it goes final. And the Bulldogs headed quickly to the line.
Nice job by the quarterback, seeing the receiver come open, getting him the football, making the first down, and they like to do this. When they make a first down, they want to go fast. They want to crank up the tempo.
Looking for a man. It's Gore. Quickly out to the tight end. Brings into the open. It's a fumble. And they put it on the deck, but it gets out of bounds to avoid the turnover.
You start to get that offense going and start having success, you've got to make sure when you get closer to the scoring range, take care of that football. If you don't, coach is going to go you on the sideline, you in the game.
To the air on first down. Snagged out of the air. And the defense had that one well covered, just a short game there. Offense lining up quickly. From the gun, they'll try to impose their running game. They'll finally get him on the ground, but not before he makes it to the 30 and gets a first down. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. Wants to go up top on first down. Pulls it in. He hauled that one in and got it down to the 15-yard line. On first and 10, trying to strike from the 15. Running back searching for a hole. Headed to the end zone. He almost punched it in for 6. They'll get him down at the 1-yard line. There's no need to panic or anything, but this would be a really opportune time to put something together and try to take control of this game.
And sometimes you just come out as the favorite and you're a little bit flat and you expect to win. And sometimes that leads to slow starts, but I think if they can get that passion, that adrenaline, and get a little fired up right here, I think they'll take care of business.
And they just got to make a play. They just got to get something positive to happen here, sort of wake them up and then put another play back-to-back, and all of a sudden they get that momentum going. We know they've got the dudes. They've got the studs on both sides of the ball to win this football game. It just needs to start with one spark.
That's the end of the period, and Auburn has the lead. Let's take a quick look at the national rankings to see how this playoff race is shaping up. Here comes the fourth. Time to see who steps up, who makes the winning plays to take home that W. Starting off this quarter close enough to smell the goal line. Give to the fullback. Into the end zone he goes. Touchdown, Dogs!
And I love when you make no bones about it. Bring in the beef, all the tight ends, the extra offensive linemen. Give it to the fullback. Let him plow ahead. You knew it was coming, and you couldn't stop it.
And no problem on that extra point, and we have a tie ball game here in the fourth. So a well-executed 8-play, 75-yard drive. And they capped it off with a 1-yard plunge. From inside his own 15, let's see how far he can get. Nice job executing all of the assignments as they put a stop to that return at the 22. start this drive going to the air. Trying to escape and get it himself.
It's just so nice to have a QB under center. Nowadays in football, you can trust these guys. You put so much on their plate, and you tell them, go get positive yards when it's there. And a lot of these guys are such great athletes, they do it with ease.
And now on second down for this offense. They'll try the run. They get him stopped at the 32. That's a gain of 4.
And those plays from a defensive perspective, man, they're just super annoying because now I'm in the worst spot ever. Third and manageable. Like, I don't know if you're passing, don't know if you're running. So nice job by this offense keeping this defense off balance and creating a third down opportunity that's in their favor.
They'll try to move the chains on the ground. Looks as if Auburn will have enough for the first down.
And that's so tough as a defense because they only got to get inches. But I got to find a way to somehow get a knockback, stop the running back's feet right there. I couldn't do it. He gets downhill just enough, and he gets the first down.
It's a good job, too, there on third down by the offense because a major statistic in football in terms of winning and losing is how good are you at staying on the field, keeping drives alive. Whether it's third and long or third and inches, you just have to go execute. And they do it.
And the Tigers in a good spot here with second and short. The give to the back. Brought down at the 48 after a gain of 5.
This is an offense, guys, that really believes in physicality, and that's their identity. So running the ball on second down, no problem for them.
This Auburn offense doing work. They're set up with another first down. They're going to ride this running back. And he is swarmed under a host of defenders there to make the stop.
Man, it's really hard to control the running game if you don't control the line of scrimmage. And how about the defensive line doing a great job attacking those guys up front, not open up lanes to run through. Nice job just nullifying that run altogether.
Defense going to jam these receivers right off the line. Makes the grab on the left. Open space at the 25. Oh, he's got some space. Run out of bounds after the long game, but they've got it now first and goal.
This is a shootout. Both offenses up and down the field. They're generating explosive plays. It feels like which team has the ball last may win, but give the quarterback a lot of credit that time because, again, he saw a beautiful look to take a shot into, and he throws an absolute dime.
That back had absolutely nowhere to run the football. Actually, is he counting? I think he's counting to make sure there's only 11 guys on defense.
They moved it forward to the 2. Now it's second and goal. Trying to punch it in. Touchdown, Tigers! They've got the lead here in the 4th.
This running back was not going to be denied. Nice blocking up front to create a hole for this running back, and he was able to take advantage.
The extra point is good, and now in the 4th, they're up by a touchdown and an extra point. The kickoff unit is out there, and boy, did that last drive quiet this crowd. And there will be no return on this one as the ball bounds into the end zone. And Georgia ready to go back to work on offense. That number 1 beside your name is a heavy burden, and when you're behind late, the weight of the world is on your shoulders. Wants to throw on first down off the play fake. Intercepted for the 11th time this season. Takes it the other way.
Man, what a great break on the football. Nice job seeing it, squeezing. A lot of those defensive guys, man, they don't have great hands all the time, but you always, always remember your first interception. They'll always remember this moment.
Touchdown, Tigers. And they take it in for 6 more points. They're now in really good shape to get back into the win column as they extend the lead here late.
And that is a drive and a score they absolutely had to have. Now making it a 2-possession game late in this one. It wasn't going to be enough to just play it safe, play it conservative, punt the ball away, and count on your defense. They were aggressive. They mixed it up, but getting that score, that is huge for their win probability now.
at another look at this Bulldog offense. They're on the cusp of what would be an historic loss, falling as the #1 team in the country unless they can pull it together here in the final moments. And the Dogs want to move quickly.
I like this idea by the offense going hurry up here. You just had a very nice run. Let's get back up to the line of scrimmage and go fast.
Back to pass, it's Gore. He let that thing fly quickly, but he couldn't make the connection.
And you want consistency from your quarterback, man. You don't want the up and down. You don't want the roller coaster. And last week, man, you had the highs of highs. And now this week, just off. He's all over the place. He's not completing the ball at a high percentage. And you just want to find some middle ground and some consistency so this offense can find out exactly who they are and build it consistent.
Well, the quarterback can make a big play when he starts moving around. They stay aggressive and push their way out to the 33, and it's first down. Georgia coming out with a fresh set of downs.
Well, you just get the feeling, too, that if they're going to claw their way back in this game, his legs are going to have to be a factor. What a great job.
Going for it all. He's picked off, and he's thrown a dozen of them. Trying to take it back.
And I love this defense understanding situational football. You got the lead in the fourth quarter, getting your nickel packages. You know the pass is coming, and the execution was great.
Yeah, they thrive on takeaways, and they love to get into games late with the lead because one of the strengths...
Gonna let it fly. Got it. They will score. Touchdown, Tigers. They can now exhale just a little bit with that lead, and they are close to a victory here in the 8th week of the season. How about this Tiger quarterback etching his name alongside the greats and maybe wearing out Aubrun with extra push-ups after all these points?
And you just think about those guys having those kind of days as Nick Marshall, Cam Newton, just superstars at the position. That's what kind of day he's having so far.
Gets it out to the 20, about 5 yards short of where he'd be if he had just taken a knee in the end zone. And Georgia ready to go back to work on offense. A very disappointing performance for the #1 team in the country. There'll be a new team atop the rankings when they come out next. Fires on the move. Complete to the right. Turning it on. And they don't drag him down until he gets all the way to the 46-yard line. They were backed up, and then suddenly they weren't. They've got it 1st and 10 now inside the 50. Wide receiver comes in motion. He might want another play. Back to throw, it's Gore. Finds his big tight end. And that's where they'll mark him, but a chunk play and they pick up a first down. The Bulldogs want to pick up the tempo. Off the play fake on first down to throw. Working that left side now. And he's brought down after a nice gain. The offense down to the 22 on 1st and 10.
And as soon as the receiver caught the ball, you saw the quarterback start communicating to his teammates what the next play was going to be because they're now changing the tempo and going fast.
And it's going to be hard for this offense, man. They've struggled to pass the football down the field, to make these explosive plays, and now, huge deficit. Got to make them. Got to find a way to push the ball down the field to create some explosive plays if you want a chance to get back in this football.
Quarterback now breaking the field. Wide open downfield. Touchdown, Georgia! Made the grab and took it on in for the score.
Big-time players make big plays in big games, man. And it seems like each and every week when this guy has an opportunity in the end zone, he's coming up with the big one. That time, great job focusing and concentration. Defense not able to cover him. That's his now 10th receiving touchdown on the year.
And the extra point is good. If they're going to pull off this big rally, they'll need to get this one back. They line up for the onside kick. And before they can kick it, the receiving team's going to call a timeout. They're ready to kick it away, and this crowd is buzzing after that last score. It's recovered by the kicking team, and they'll steal a possession.
Man, that goes from I'm going to go make a play for my team, run this thing back, make something happen, to dang it, I put it on the ground, and they got it, and they have great field position.
He steps and powers and works his way. They finally get him down at the 2. Now on 2nd and goal. Back to throw, it's Gore. Can't hang on in the end zone, and that one is going to drive him crazy when he watches it. It'll be 3rd down.
Well, this has been a day to forget if you're this quarterback. And I got to be honest, guys, I'm surprised he's still even in the game right now because he's had zero rhythm. He hasn't been accurate. He's thrown a ton of interceptions. Most coaches would have pulled their guy by now. I know the guy I played for back in college, he would have pulled.
And he takes it in for the score. Touchdown, Bulldogs.
Well, this offense has been physical. They came out of this game with a lot of pride and the ability up front and the belief that they can block people and get it done. They are dominating this defense. 3 rushing touchdowns now in the game.
Quick completion on the out route. He's not going to make it in, and the decision to go for 2 does not work out. So the kickoff team will come out after they turn in a score on that last drive. Looking for daylight from inside his 20. Couldn't find a way to create that broken field as he stopped at the 25. So here comes the Auburn offense. And now that cushion is a little bit smaller, Jesse, and any mistake would get magnified.
Yeah, a little bit of pressure now on this offense too, David. I think they got to go back to their playmakers and get these guys going in the game.
No doubt, find those plays you know you can run them in your sleep. You make sure you execute. Build this lead a little bit bigger. Put this thing away in the 4th quarter.
They'll run it to keep this clock grinding. He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage.
This is a big pressure moment for the offense, too, because they've got the lead, but it's now 3rd down on their own side of the field. They would love nothing more than to be able to convert this, stay on the field, keep bleeding the clock, but the defense, I'd expect them to bring pressure here, trying to force the ball out of the QB's hands quickly.
Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. They'll keep the offense on the field on 4th down already with a 1-possession lead. He'll try to throw and pick up the 1st down. They got him. It's a sack, and what a stop for this defense to turn it over on downs.
I know the analytics tell me to be aggressive and go for it, but in the 2nd half, in these ball games, the analytics don't work for every single situation. And right now, you've set them up. I just hope this one doesn't come back to bite you right in the hiney.
Pulls and fires it complete to the right. And the catch and run into the end zone. Touchdown, Dogs!
Yeah, I tell you what, great job by this offense. Great execution. You drive down the field, you get the score. Now what's your 2-point play? You practiced it all week. What's your go-to in this moment late in the 4th quarter when you need the 2-point conversion?
Now the 2-point conversion attempt is coming. Looking downfield, it's Gore. Gets it out quickly. He's into the end zone. The 2-point conversion is good, and we're tied here in the final period. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. We've got a dandy going here, all tied up in the 4th quarter and about to kick it away. Let's see what he can get done from inside his own 15. Nice job executing all of the assignments as they put a stop to that return at the 22.
everybody wants to go for it on fourth down. Everybody wants that, but your defense sometimes has to bail out your decision-making. We decided to go for it. We didn't get it. The defense, Jesse, didn't come up big and prove me right.
Yeah, not complimentary football, no doubt. But look, this offense has been in these situations before, so you got to come back out here, take the field. It's a...
There he goes. They finally get to him. But what a play there to pick up the first down.
This quarterback is such a playmaker, and his arm is what makes him so special. Could this be the game that sends him to New York City for the Heisman Trophy? He's now got over 450 passing yards.
They'll have it at the 49, just across midfield, 1st and 10. Looking downfield on first down. Safe completion on the screen. And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. Backed up now, here's 2nd and long. Wants to go up top. Grabbed in the middle, it's Akbar. Really putting together a threat now. They get the first. It's at the 37.
I feel like this guy's having one of those games. It happens maybe once in your life. He's just been open everywhere on the field. He's been lighting up the scoreboard. He's turning these defenders around. They just simply can't cover him.
Gets it to him on the screen. And he runs through one tackle and picks up a few.
Man, and we've seen it in this game. Even though his team is losing, this guy, time and time again, has been answering the bell. He's been throwing dimes all game long, and he comes up with another big completion there.
And defensively, I'm going to continue to think pass. They've trusted him all game long. He hasn't let them down. I'm playing for the pass. I'll react to everything else.
The Tigers back to the line on first down. Let's see if they keep leaning on this running game. Got it in the middle. It's Bridges. That throw and catch gets them down to the 6, and the defense is running out of answers. I mean, just have a day already. He's right on the cusp of 500 yards through the air.
And I know he did an outstanding job all week long in practice, watching film and taking every rep seriously and personally on the practice field building up to this one, because he's barely made any mistakes today.
They'll keep it on the ground for 1st and goal. He's got it down to the 1-yard line, right on the doorstep of Pater. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. These fans raising the volume on 2nd and goal. Quarterback looking for just a crack on the sneak. And I don't think he got in. Those big bodies up front just creating a wall at the goal line. Third and goal, and let's see if they can even operate in this noise. Slams ahead. Touchdown, Auburn. They move on top here in the 4th.
Man, what a great job with the execution in a moment where you had to have it. You score the touchdown, you take the lead. There's less than a minute to go in this game. All your defense has to do now is get a stop, and you win.
They'll try to tack one more on their score. The extra point is good, and now in the 4th, they're up by a touchdown and an extra point. They're getting set to kick it away, and that last score took a little whoop out of this crowd. And as the ball makes its way into the end zone, it'll be a touchback. They'll bring it out to the 25. drive starts from their own 25-yard line. An unforced error there. They don't get the snap off in time. That is a completely avoidable penalty. The quarterback just went into brain lock and lost track of the play clock. Making side adjustments here. To throw, it's Gore. A deep throw as the clock winds down. That one will be incomplete, and we are down to 10 seconds to go.
And those are the plays that you worry about as a defensive coordinator, man. Not getting beat over the top, but not just by any guy, but by a guy that can fly. And they've been worried about it all game long. Their game plan has been steered toward that, and right here they execute at a really good level. Make sure they don't let them get behind them, and they knock the football to the ground.
No time to waste here. They've got to get set and pick up chunk yardage. Looking up top, and time is of the essence. It is incomplete, and now there are 4 seconds remaining.
Well, you look at the clock, they've got time for one more play, but they're out of Hail Mary range here, needing a touchdown to win this game. This is going to be a last-second, last-chance play that they practice, by the way, throughout the week. It's going to involve probably a lot of laterals, but we've seen crazier stuff happen in college football.
Got to get everybody lined up quickly. Time winding away, and they've got to push the ball down the field. On 3rd and long, he'll have to turn it loose deep. Almost intercepted, and that might have been the ball game if he had held on. Instead, it's 4th down. They'll leave the offense out there to try to get it past the marker and pick up the first. On 4th down, they'll try to throw it. Might be looking to run. Ball falls to the turf. The final pass is incomplete, and that's going to do it for this one. It is the Auburn Tigers emerging victorious in the Deep South.